got my first job, the Bureau of Reclamation. And he took exams. I went to the Bureau of Reclamation up in Washington. I was there for about, not quite a year. I wasn't too happy with that one. Then I got an offer from Douglas Aircraft. They were the ones that offered me a job, paid my way down from Washington to Douglas, and I was there for about 6 years. Yeah. My first job was in the weights group, weights, where you had to calculate the weight of every object and the size, because they have to control their weight and also control where it was located. So I was to look at what was being developed, calculate everything that was being built and weight. And then we didn't have computers then, but it was something to do with calculating the different things in the airplane for structures. I don't know, yeah. And then a friend of mine, Roland Waco, who had been a good friend, the best man one time, when my sister got married, he had a card from Shell. They were going to be hiring people, and he was going to go. And I said, I'll go with you. And we went, and we got interviewed, and I got the job, he didn't, but it turned out wonderful for him. He didn't get the job then, but about a week later, he got a job working at the school right in the area. And he worked teaching, and he worked there the rest of his life, made good, nice money, and retired. Yeah, but I went to work for Shell. And the reason why we liked it, because Shell was going to be, at that time, they were building stations. And so when I got the interview, they liked me, gave me an offer. Believe it or not, though, I was making $740 at Douglas. Douglas. Shell only gave me $5.25 to start. But the reason why I wanted it was in building, surveying, engineering, building, and I thought I'd like that. And after 6 months, if they like you, you got to raise immediately, and they start raising you. But I started at $5.25, and then I worked there, and then they started moving me. Well, I knew your mother then too, yeah. And the day very close, 57 was the day I first started dating her, and that was the day I first started working for Shell. And the reason why I liked Shell, because it was more of what I wanted. It was engineering, surveying, I used to go out and actually used to survey, and we would do, and then I would go out, and we were service stations. So the first thing for a service station is you go out with we used to call them, their job was to buy the property, real estate. They were real estate, and I was engineer. So I used to go out with them. We'd look at a lot or a place, how much it would cost to tear down what's there, how much it would cost to build, and then I'd make up the estimate and so forth. That's what I was doing. 1 year, I built 29 service stations. Wow. 29. During that year, 1 month, I finished 9. I mean, I was really going. See, when you say who would build it, there were different contractors, and they would bid on the sites. I was working for Shell, but I was dealing with contractors, 8 or 9, and they get to know you, and they get to try and make you happy because who you going to pick to bid on it, And then You go out, you look at the location, and I'd make an estimate somewhat with our real estate people. They would make up the total proposal. I'd give them the cost and everything. And if it was approved by the company, then we would go out and bid it out. Draw the plan for the building. The buildings are all standard. They had an office and bays. A lot, it would be 1 or 2 bays, you know what I mean? But then I used to have to lay out where the pumps would be. And so I would be given a piece of property. I'd have to, how much it cost first to tear it down, get it cleared, then how much was it going to cost to build. And if everybody, and then make an estimate if it was approved, and then I would have to sit down and finish the drawings. In the majority of cases, Shell would build it, but they had people who had money, and they'd buy it from Shell. You follow me?
Yep.
And they would run it. They then moved me into distribution, and distribution was the pipelines, how to get product there. I even worked at a plant, where they used to do putting oil in cans and so forth. We used to have big tanks, and they would mix the oils and make the different products and so forth. And so I did that. I got involved with that. It was very noticeable. I was being moved. I was being developed. Believe it, I mean that sincerely. They were giving me money and moving me around. But your poor mother, after our third move, she was very unhappy. And so I had to go in and finally tell them, hey, look, I can't continue doing this. I want to stay in one place.